I am Kate.
And I'm Bailey.
And this is Our Book Boyfriends.
I wish we had the actual music.
I know, like to play.
Yeah.
I think this is hilarious because I think this shows our personalities really well because Bailey has her notes in front of her, like
have
dual
2
screen.
documents.
Like she's ready to go and I'm like, I'm on vibes only. Unorganized, chaotic as hell. Vibes only. I do have the books. I'll get them out later. I know, I'm a mess. It's fine.
I'm going to read the whole thing real quick.
Huh?
So you're just going to flip through it?
Yeah, just the whole thing. Well, today we are talking about my favorite duology by Tessa Bailey so far, the Beliinger Sisters.
Yes.
First, we're going to talk about It Happened One Summer, and I'm sure you have a good little synopsis for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Okay. So this one's about Piper, and she is the daughter of a really rich movie producer, and she just kind of is like a socialite in LA.
Yes.
Yeah. And so at the beginning of the book, she gets dumped by her boyfriend of like 2 weeks or something. 3?
No,
it's
I
like
know.
not a lot.
It's so little.
Yeah. And he says something kind of rude to her. I don't remember what he says, but she decides to break into a hotel, go to the rooftop pool and throw a really big party, and then gets arrested.
Lovely.
And so her stepdad sends her away to the town she's from because her father, her like bio father, owned a bar before he died and like left it in the sisters' names. And so he's sending them there for like 3 months with X amount of money and was like, you need to make your way.
Yeah.
Like you need to learn the value of $1. You need to quit being a little bitch, let's be honest.
Yeah, honestly.
And so he just kind of feeds her to the wolves. And then, of course, she meets a man. Brandon. Love him. But, yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like how it starts.
Yeah, that's definitely how it starts. Yeah, and her sister comes out with her because she's like just like a super supportive little sister. She's like, no, I'm not going to let you do it alone or whatever. Oh my gosh, I love Piper. I love her.
I didn't love her at first.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so this is another book that you and I both reread before recording this episode so that we were like up on all of this stuff. So first impression, you didn't like her.
Well, no.
Because she wasn't painted to be liked.
Well, she's a spoiled little brat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she's based off of
Oh, yeah.
Alexis.
From Schitt's Creek, right?
Yeah.
I've never watched that show. I know. Sue me.
Criminal.
Even I like that show. It's really good.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
We've watched it twice. Or I've watched it twice.
You watched it twice, and I came in like halfway.
And then we watched it again all together.
Oh, I mean, it's been one. Okay, listen, I obsess. You know I obsess. I started a show at the beginning of the semester, and I'm almost done with it. 7 seasons, guys, and I'm almost done. This is not healthy.
Yeah. But I think it was done very well. And, like, I mean, I know you haven't seen the show, but I think it's very similar character arc for Alexis in the show, too.
Yeah.
Is where she's a spoiled little brat, but then they lose everything.
She comes
didn't
into
lose
herself.
everything. But, yeah, she kind of has to figure it out and be better with money and everything like that.
Yeah. Our first introduction to Brendan, what did you think about him?
Well, I didn't like him at the very first time.
Yeah.
But it was something similar to like we've talked about before. He just immediately like, she's got a nice ass.
Yeah,
or something.
objectifying. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, like, makes sense. But, like, first impression, you're always like, of course. That's what he's noticing. What I liked about...
floppy hat.
Yeah, floppy hat. Because she came out of the taxi looking ridiculous as hell. As you would.
Looking very LA in a very small fisher boat town.
Yeah.
It's like a little town. I don't remember the state. Is it California? It's not.
No, Washington?
Maybe. Yeah, I think it is Washington.
I think it is Washington.
Because they go to Seattle one time.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a little town in Washington, like on the ocean, and like it's a little fisher town.
Yeah. And
Very small.
Yeah.
And she comes out with her bags and a big old floppy hat and probably a dress
Yeah.
and heels.
Yeah, she shows up to the bar that was left by her father that they had. She doesn't remember. She mentions that she remembers his laugh. It's like the sweetest thing, I think. It's like the only memory she has of him is his laugh. But the town is like taking over this bar. It's like their bar now. They call it No Name.
Yeah.
And they just
it's
all
like
hang
been
out.
condemned and they just kind of go in there.
Yep.
Bring their own booze and drink in there.
And
So
hang
they're
out.
all in there when they walk in for the first time and they're like, oh.
Who are you?
Well, they're like,
I'm the owner of this bar.
Yeah, for real. They're like, wait, are we in the right place?
Yeah.
But they are. And then they were like, who the fuck are you? And how do you own this bar? Like,
yeah. And Brendan's a dick.
Yeah, at first he's a little bit of a dick because he's like, he's grew up in this town and I feel like he feels very protective of it.
Yeah.
And he's not a fan of outsiders.
Definitely.
At all.
Especially people who he feels like are going to look down upon his town, which I think is like the biggest thing, which they did.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I think they mentioned her being like,
a little Alexis thing.
Yeah. Not wanting to touch anything.
Yeah.
One thing that I like about Piper is that although she knows that she's really, really cute and she can get like any guy she wants, the first interaction she has with Brendan is she like looks him up and down, notices the ring, and then visibly backs off. Like she visibly stops giving him like the smolder eye or anything. And I really, really liked that little detail. It's like, oh yeah, she's not like, she'll get whatever she wants, but she's not going to step on someone else's territory.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
So Brendan is wearing a ring because he was married and his wife died. I don't remember how long ago.
7 years ago.
7, wow, okay. And she had like a brain aneurysm or something while he was away. So he's the captain of the fishing boat, her dad's boat to be specific.
Yeah.
So he's the captain of it now. So he was out. I think they're gone for like a week or 2 weeks sometimes at a time. And so while he was gone, she died. So he has left his ring on this whole time.
Yeah. Just like out of like responsibility towards her and her family and the town.
Because he still like talks to their family.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And especially the dad. And so I think he does it out of like a respect thing. But one thing I really liked is at one point he takes it off.
Yeah.
I know, that was cute. I don't remember when. Oh, I think it was after the like memorial they did for her. So every year they do a memorial, like a celebration
of life. Yeah.
I was like, I don't like that word, but they just come together and drink, and I'm sure they talk about her. And I don't know why, but this woman who's passed away, her dad invited Piper because the dad was really good friends with Piper's dad. Like they were on the boat together. He was on the boat when her dad went over and died. And so he invited her to, he said a party.
Yeah, that's all he said. It's a party down in the basement of the bar across the street.
So she shows up in a disco ball dress.
You.
And buys a round of shots.
You.
And then goes down there and was like, whoa, who's ready to party?
Why does everyone look so sad?
Oh, yeah, she said that. Why does everyone look so sad or something?
So down or whatever. And then she instantly was like,
oh. So she just bounces.
Darts out.
Yeah, runs out. And then Brendan follows her, and then they
have this cute little moment.
Yeah, and I think it was after that, like the next day, he took his ring off.
Yeah.
I don't know what, because, at first he hated her.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was always coming around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, like.
Oh, there was, like, the grocery store incident. So, like, the first day that she's there, she's at the grocery store, and she's, like, talking into Siri. And she's like, Siri, 3 ingredient recipes. Like,
yeah.
Just trying to get by. And Brendan's like, what the heck is this girl doing? And she's like, look, my sister's here. She doesn't deserve this. I'm trying to do, like, the best that I can by her. Like, she's done really good by me. I'm trying to make her dinner. And I think that was, like, something for him. He was like, oh, wait. She's not just this person.
Yeah.
She's not a total airhead, Well, she's kind of an airhead throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I guess that. So he started, like, coming around at the bar. So that bar that was condemned, he put locks on the doors because there weren't locks on the doors. They were living in a bunk bed, her and her sister, and Piper was on the bottom, and she would always sit up and, like, whack her head.
Bonk her head.
And so she had, like, a mark. So he hired someone to put, like, foam padding at the top of the bunk so she'd quit whacking her head on it. I know that one was really cute, I thought.
It was just, like, such a weird thing. Like, she just, like, what are you talking about? You're here to put foam on my bed. It was like, oh, yeah, well, you keep knocking your head, right? And
yeah, it's cute.
And it's just such small-town charm, I feel like. Like, of course he would do that. Like, that's normal for him. But it wasn't. It was
it's super weird for her.
Super weird for her. But this town, they look after each other.
I think one of my favorite parts is I think it was one of the first times he was with his crew in the book, and he gets an Instagram.
Oh my God, yes!
Because he didn't have an Instagram because he's, a grumpy little... And so he doesn't have an Instagram, and so he gets it so he can see pictures of her.
Yeah.
And use them while he's out and about on his trips. But it was really funny because, like, his crew members, like, giving him a hard time and, like, helping him make the Instagram because he doesn't know what he's doing. And then I think he, like, follows her.
Yeah.
But he has no followers, no posts or anything. And they're like, no. He's like, I already did it. Can I take it back? And they're like, no. You can't take it back. Like, she'll see it.
And then it switches to her point of view, and she's like, you'll never guess what just happened. Brendan just followed me on Instagram, and they're like, oh, you're the only one he's following on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's not cute at all.
Yeah. And he's like looking at her photos. He's like, anyone can see these?
They can download them?
Yeah. He's like, what?
Yeah.
I think one of the crew members is like, oh yeah, I follow her. He's like, no. Don't look at them.
Don't look at them. What's his blue check mark?
Oh yeah. He's just very not technologically
so funny.
there. Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, and the crew giving him a hard time is really cute.
Yeah. I like the crew's okay. I didn't like Sanders in the second one.
You didn't like the crew in the second one? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the crew's wives. They were mean to Piper in the end.
They were mean to Piper in the end. Well, I don't think they were intentionally mean. I don't know. There's something weird about, like, women.
Women.
Like, women who have had a tough life and are like, nah, honey, like, you gotta be stronger than that. Like, to the woman saying that, she's like, I got you. Like, that's me getting your back. And the girl who's, like, crying on the dock because her man just left. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're just making it worse. So, I don't know if they were mean.
They probably didn't mean it to be mean.
I don't think they meant it to be mean. They were just ignorant in what was going on.
Yeah, because she wasn't crying because he left per se.
It was the circumstances in which he left
she was crying because he left before she could get there and say bye.
Yeah.
And so she didn't see him off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure if she would have said bye and he left, she would have been okay-ish. But
yeah,
she didn't quite make it. I've liked the talk of Henry in this book a lot, too. Like,
yeah, so the dad.
Yeah, that's her dad's name.
Henry Cross.
Their mom lived I think the mom grew up in that town, right?
I think something along that line.
And so she, met Henry, got married, had the 2 girls. He went out on one of these fishing trips, and it hit a wave, I think, wrong, and he, like, flopped over the side of the boat.
Yeah.
And the water's really cold, and I don't even think they saw him, like, ever pop out.
Yeah.
They think it's, like, just so cold, you immediately just, like, get shocked and just freaking not get out.
Sink, yeah.
And so that's how he died, and then the mom couldn't really cope, so she just left.
Yep.
Took the girls and left, and then got a job on a film. I think she was like costume or something.
Yeah, she was
like
something super low grade. Low grade. Fell in love with her now husband in the book. What's his name?
No clue. Stepfather.
Stepdaddy.
Yeah, I
can't remember. Name. But eventually he climbs the ladder and he ends up being like a big wig production person, like in movies and stuff. So that's how they have their money now.
Yeah.
Is through that marriage. And he's taking care of the girls like they're his own, which I also really admire because, I mean, yeah, the little sister, Hannah, was young.
Yeah, because she doesn't remember him at all.
She doesn't remember him at all. So it's probably really easy to, like, just take in these girls, but, like, it's still something.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people would do.
Not a lot of people would do, especially with unlimited amount of money that they had. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
No.
I wouldn't squander it away, Piper.
So the big moment, when they finally decide, like, okay, like, we like each other, we're gonna do this thing.
Oh.
Like, I feel like this book had a really, really good, steady buildup of, like, emotion from both ends, and you're kind of like, you see the attraction, but you also see them, like, trying to deny the attraction. But it was good. The build up to this relationship
for Piper,
was good.
she was trying to not get involved because she'd never planned on staying.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to bust out these 3 months and I'm going to go.
Yeah, and if my mom couldn't do it, I can't do it type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of these
just
women.
wanted to get back to her life, get back to her friends, get back to partying, whatever. Prove she could do it for the 3 months and go home. She was trying to get out early even and, like,
yeah,
they were going to fix up the bar. and open it and show their dad they could and have him come out, or stepdad, have him come out and see what they did. And then they, in their mind, he was going to let them go home early because they just did such a great job.
Yeah, like they really
she
showed
was
him.
just like, no, we're not doing this. I think it was very like friend zoney.
Yeah, I mean, she was definitely DTF, and he was like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she tried with the dresses and the makeup and outfits, and like she really put on, what did she call it? She called it like a process.
Armor?
Yeah, her armor. Yeah, putting on her armor and then going out. Mm-hmm. But he was like, no, honey, it's not what this is for me.
Yeah. That's rolling.
Stubborn.
I liked their first date. He like picked her up, I think, and took her to his house, which I don't think she was expecting.
Yeah.
And he cooked her dinner.
Yeah, like a good dinner too.
I don't remember what it was, but
I can't remember either, but it was like, impressed. And he bought champagne, and he was like, I don't drink that shit, so hopefully that's good.
he's like, hopefully that's the right kind.
He's
There's
like-
like 2 options probably in that town.
Yeah. He's like, hopefully this is good for you.
Yeah.
Was that before or after the hospital?
It was before because they didn't have sex.
You're
That's
right.
I think that's when she got the key to his house.
Yeah.
So they just made out.
Oh, yes.
But once
You're
again,
right.
she was like, DTF, and he's like, no,
Yeah.
like, we're gonna do this the right way. Like, I'm not just here to sleep with you, kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so, she went home, went on her merry way. But he gave her a key. I don't remember why he gave her a key, but he gave her a key for a place to stay.
For like emergencies. It's like if something
'Cause
ever
she's-
happens and I'm
yeah,
not here.
living in a shitty little loft above a sketch ass bar.
Yeah.
So
that he had to reinstall locks in. Like that shit is not
they
secure.
wouldn't have done.
No.
Until he put locks in it. And so he just like gave her a key to the place. And so not long after that date, he went out on the boat and there was a really big storm. Mm-hmm. And while the storm was happening, she like went to his house and stayed in his bed and like wore his shirt. And then she woke up. I think it was a call from her sister.
Yep.
Because Sanders' wife, I think maybe Hannah saw them like on the street.
Yeah, it was
I don't
like
remember.
passing or something.
Yeah, and said that there was an accident on the boat, and so she just starts flipping the shit out
Yep.
and goes to the hospital. Takes his truck.
Yeah, finds his keys.
Yeah,
She's like,
finds his
he is a spare key guy. Where is it?
And she figured out where it would possibly be. And
Yeah.
she found it.
Got
He got in his
dressed.
truck. Yep. She kept his shirt on though.
Yeah, she did.
And she went to the hospital and was like freaking the fuck out.
Crying.
Because they told her it was in the ICU.
Yeah, but they didn't have any information. Like, they didn't have any information.
In real life.
Yeah.
Just saying. I don't think that girl would have gotten that far.
Okay.
She wasn't related to him at all.
You're right.
Or
She just came in and she was like, last name, whatever the last names were, I can't remember. But she was like, this person. And the nurse is like, that
over
way.
there.
Over that way. It's like, okay. She's like, just fucking running
And
around
then
crying.
yeah. And then he's like in the hall. So
Yeah.
he's fine.
He's chilling.
It was one of the other crew members. I think he hit his head. I
Yeah.
think that was literally it.
Like a major concussion or something.
yeah. So he's fine too. But why he's in the ICU, I don't know. But this part, I don't know. I hate it a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm going to say, because I've already complained about this part.
I know.
So, she's freaking out, so excited to see him. I don't know why in the world they decide this is the moment we must
Have sex.
have sex. Right fucking now.
Right here.
So they find an empty room in this goddamn hospital and shut the door and have sex in their room.
Yeah. At least he
I
shut the
cannot.
blind, like he shut the curtain.
Wow. So respectful. Oh my God. People have died in that room, dead ass. That is my mindset. Like, people have 100% died in that room. It's a fucking ICU, bro. People have died in every one of those rooms.
They were in the heat of passion. Okay? Their
Listen.
adrenalines were a pumping. All right? They finally.
The old guy next to them in that next room is probably on dying actively. I was just like, what
Listen,
the hell?
you only pay attention to your surroundings. If you paid attention to what your neighbors are doing right now, you'd never have any fun, okay?
I mean, I guess.
You're right. I
I
know.
don't know nothing about my neighbors other than this one across the street always working on his car. It's so loud. I sleep during the day. But I don't know. I just was like, I'm glad you guys figured your shit out, but this is a weird place
No,
to
10 out
do
of 10.
it.
10 out of 10 would do. 10 out of 10.
I can't. I cannot.
No, yeah. But I'm like a passion girly, okay? When people are stupid because they're in love, I gobbled that shit up. You're too logical. You're like, this is why
I'm
you're
picturing
wrong.
me working in said hospital and walking in on this bullshit.
He closed the curtain.
I can open it. Like, curtains are very easily, it's not like they locked the door.
I know, but if you
can't.
think someone's having sex behind the curtain, you're not going to move the curtain. You're going to be like,
No. Maybe. They'd be like, get the fuck out. I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
But, man, I just am picturing me walking into a room and the parents are like,
Oh,
doing it.
okay, but that's different.
No, it's not.
You do work in a children's hospital. It'd be more weird.
You'd say that, but it's fucking happened.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
That's happened?
Yes.
I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, putting it into real life context, like, it's a lot harder to be happy about it, okay? But for
My
these
bad.
people, I was really happy about it.
Like I said, I'm glad they figured it out and finally had sex, but I was not very happy about the place they were in.
That's fair.
A hospital room.
They're like, I
this
can't
is
wait.
weird. This is weird for me. Go outside. Yeah. Just go outside, you know? Tessa Bailey likes to do that a lot.
Yeah, as we saw with her dirty knees.
Yeah. In that one, there was a lot of sex outside.
I think
I feel like she happens a lot. In the second one, they do it outside, like on a fucking public street.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was shocked. And in Unfortunately Yours, after the water situation where he went and rescued those people, they were driving home, couldn't make it home, pulled over on the side of the road. I'm like, bro, just go outside, you know?
Fits
Get in
of
his
passion.
truck. Lord help us.
Fits of passion.
Or just go into a bathroom, like, I don't know.
Why is that different?
Because you can lock the fucking...
You can't lock a hospital room?
No!
Oh, I guess
For
that wouldn't
safety
make
reasons.
sense. I guess
what
that
if you're
wouldn't make
fucking dying
sense.
and I need to get in there?
You're right.
You ain't locking shit.
But
You can't lock a
do
hospital.
y'all have bathrooms in the hallways?
There's like out in the lobby, there's a bathroom. There's bathrooms for the guests.
Is there? I just always assumed
People gotta pee.
I know. I would just assume that if I was seeing somebody in a room, I'd go pee in their room. You know?
Yeah, but like, there's bathrooms in the lobby. There's bathrooms when you get up on the floor to like out of the elevator. There's a bathroom.
Yeah, and they didn't even use the bed. They were up against the wall.
Yeah. They sure did. And then they walk out of said situation and find Brendan's
cracking up.
ex-father-in-law
Oh, yeah. They're like all flush and...
holding hands. And I think Piper immediately like drops his hand. And I think he grabs it back.
No, he dropped her hand.
Oh, he did it?
And he tried to grab her hand back, but she had already kind of like retreated.
Sad.
Yeah, as one would. I'd be like, oh,
Meow.
yeah.
I mean, it is still, like I said, a very weird situation. That he was, the father-in-law was, because he still calls him father-in-law.
Yeah, he says
sure.
my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also when his father-in-law, what is his name? Starts with an M. But he notices that Brendan is no longer wearing the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time he notices it, too. Probably because he saw the hand thing.
Yeah. And
And
he's
then
like,
it dropped, and then he probably realized. What's going on?
what is going on?
Which, I mean, I think, oh, shit.
Yes.
And then the father-in-law, I don't think it was in this moment. It was a little bit later. But the father-in-law goes to Piper and says, like, you'll never be her or some shit.
Basically, yeah. I mean, like, he didn't say it outright, but it was so read between the lines. It was ridiculous.
Pretty much shit on her.
Yeah, and really just, I mean, she's been shit on so much. Like, this is one of, like, Piper's things. Is like, she also kind of just doesn't see her self-worth. Because the guy that broke up with her said, there's a million of you out there.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. I was like, I knew he said something kind of shitty.
There's, like, 1,000 of you out there. Like, you're nothing special. And then, like, her father, like, her stepdad, like, kind of giving up hope with her. And, like, you know, all these people just like her because she's a party girl, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because since she's been in LA, none of her friends from LA have reached out.
No.
Not a single one. Or when she was arrested.
Yeah. Like, no one reached out.
And one of her friends threw her under the bus. That's why she was arrested, I'm pretty sure.
That one.
Yeah,
The one on top of the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just like, the rejection probably fucked with her. Mm-hmm. And then, like, just knowing she's not cut out for this life. And then him coming up to her and being like, you're not cut out for this life.
Yeah.
What a dick. I mean, yeah. That's just a dick move.
Mm-hmm. And then when Brendan found out about it, he went and talked to him.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was pissed.
Ugh. Yeah. They were great.
Brendan. Mm-hmm. I like when he took her out on the boat, too. Because she said she wanted to come out on the boat one day,
Yeah.
And so he, took her... Well, actually, it was a way for them to talk, and she couldn't run away.
Yeah. And they had, acknowledged that beforehand, too. She's like, you're just taking me out there so I can't run. He's like, yep. Let's go.
We're going to have a conversation out
Yeah,
there.
we are. And they did. And then they did other stuff, too.
They sure did.
Yep.
As they do.
As one does.
On a boat.
On a boat.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I thought another really cute moment is, so it's been towards the end, and then they go to Seattle. They do, a date thing, a trip, a day trip night, whatever. They stay the night, I think. They go to Seattle, her sister, and then we haven't talked about Fox at all.
I know, because...
Can you rein it in and just speak of him a little?
Yeah. So Fox is it Brendan? I keep wanting to say Brandon. Is Brendan's, right-hand man on the ship and his best friend in real life. So he kind of sends Fox as not a babysitter, because Hannah really doesn't like that word, but kind of a distractor for Hannah, Piper's little sister, so that Brendan and Piper can have a little bit of alone time, but Hannah's not all by herself, and she's he knows, they all know that she's going to be taken care of, because Fox he's been told, don't touch this girl, So he has the idea for the vinyl collection, swap meet type thing. There's a vinyl convention.
Convention, there
That's
you go.
the word.
I was like, what's it called?
Yeah, a vinyl convention. And he was just talking about it. And Brendan's Piper calls right then. She's like, hey, we need help going to get the chandelier. And Brendan's like, I'll do you one better. Let's go get that and then go to Seattle. And we'll go to this record thing. And Hannah's all for it. And Fox is like, what the fuck did you just do to me?
Mm-hmm. Because he was like, Fox will come too.
And Fox will come too. So they all four go. And yes.
And they get 3 rooms.
3 rooms. 1 for the girlies. And then Brendan and Fox each in their own room for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And then they do a little split up thing. And we'll talk more about the split up on Fox and Hannah's side later.
Spoiler alert, they're the second book.
They're the second book. Which I think when we were introduced to Fox, it was almost instantaneous. I was like, he's the second book. I wasn't sure that it was Hannah, but I knew they would be Fox.
No, I think I knew it was both of them.
I didn't know until after Hannah called Brendan a dickwad or whatever it was that she called him. I think that was when I was like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely Hannah, But I always knew it was Fox.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Thank fuck. God bless her. So they go to the convention, Fox and Hannah.
Fox and Hannah go to the convention.
And then Brendan and Piper go shopping.
Yes.
So because she hasn't been shopping since going.
Yeah, it's been a whole 3 weeks
she's bought
or
and stuff, but
something.
it's been to renovate the bar. So I was what the chandelier was for. It was for the bar.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're making a little dance floor for the bar.
Yeah. And this is where she finds out that Brendan's pretty much loaded.
Rich.
He's got money.
And she was a little bit pissed about it.
She's like,
What the fuck do you mean?
She's like, I'm supposed to be not having this kind of lifestyle. What do you mean? And he's like, no, I'm going to spoil you. He's like, she'll get them all. And it's just huge old shopping trip.
And she's like, what do you mean you have this much money? It was really funny.
It was really funny. But good for her.
Because she was looking at the price tags of everything and putting stuff down and, trying to be more aware of her habits, and she knows the value of $1 now pretty much, and how hard it is and stuff like that. But he was like, nah, he broke it down, each crab I get this much.
Yeah, by
and
the
then
pound.
she was like, how many do you get? And he was said the max amount you can bring in and how much money and stuff like that. So she was like, what the fuck?
You have so much money.
Yeah, he was really funny. I love that part.
Almost to the point where I was like, Aaron, we gotta move to Washington. Look, you gotta get on a ship. Just telling
Think
you.
you can fucking pull up the cages? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how they are.
They have a winch that does that.
Oh shit!
But it is it's one of the most dangerous jobs. So
Yeah.
that's why it's paid a lot.
Yeah.
Because I die.
The crew members get paid a lot. Basically, they don't really have to work the whole year
Yeah.
except for the season. So
That's
Well,
insane.
they do crab, and then they go get fish on the off seasons. They go out to just
Yeah,
kind of supplement.
3-day trips,
Yeah,
every so
not as
often.
long for sure.
Yeah.
Just to kind of supplement, since it's really big at one point of the year, and then they're just kind of okay, Now we wait for the next year. So we'll just get fish. And then I'm sure that town has great seafood.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. So, like, the Seattle trip was kind of like the peak of our happiness before the breakthrough. Because Tessa Bailey, like, almost always has a third act breakup. Like, there's just always, like, one with that. So, but I can't remember the catalyst for the breakup. I remember the breakup.
So it was one of her friends actually did reach out and was doing a Piper comeback party.
Yeah, she's like, it's going to be lit.
And so, you know, he is a little bit now under the impression that they're dating and that she's not going to go back.
Or that they're at least going to work on it.
Yeah, and I think he asks her about it, and she kind of was just like, yeah, I'm going to go back, kind of thing. And I think he was really upset about that. And they get into a fight, and he's like, okay, well, I'll give you some time to think about it, whatever. If you want to still be together, come say bye to me at the docks before my boat leaves in the morning. Mm-hmm. And she's late because
It's the little old guy that she helps.
It's the guy that put the foam on her bunk bed.
Yeah.
The hardwood store owner, I think.
Yeah.
And so he said he used to go on a walk every day, but he's too old to go on the walk. Or people, you know, he needs help, pretty much. And so somebody helps him a few times a week.
Yeah.
But he used to go every day. So Piper goes on a run every morning, and then she'll go to this guy's place and take him on a walk, pretty much.
Yeah.
So she does this again this day, like she always does, but he falls and hits his head, and it's like bleeding.
Yeah.
So he probably also has a concussion or something, brain bleed, who knows.
Yeah.
So she sits there and waits with him while his son comes to take him to the hospital, to pick him up. So because she had to sit there and wait and all that jazz, she missed the boat leaving. And that's when she cries, and that's when the women are like, you need to toughen up if you're going to do this.
You're like, honey, you got to be stronger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be crying. Like, they're sad leaving, you need to put on a better front.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, she's a blubbering fucking mess because she thinks, because
now
Brendan now thinks
they're done.
They're done.
She doesn't care, but she had every intention of going and being like, no, let's be together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now that she thinks he thinks they're broken up, she just starts acting like they are, kind of thing. And so they open the bar finally. No one comes.
Yep.
So now she's just like, well, fuck this town. And literally immediately leaves.
Yeah.
And goes to LA.
Goes to this party that her friend was going to throw her. It's like her comeback party. There's like designers that want to dress her and pay her to wear their stuff. And it's like a $500 cover fee to come to this party. Like, she's going to make a fuck ton of money, which is also what she's interested in because she kind of wants to get out from under her stepdad's, you know, thumb. So she's like, oh, I can make my own money by being like the shining star of this party or whatever.
Yeah.
So she comes back, and then it's kind of like we skip a few hours of time, and I can't remember why no one was showing up at the bar.
Because there was a fire. Like a boat.
Something was on fire, and so the town was just kind of waiting to make sure everything was good.
That was also, this night was a big night.
Yeah.
The boat.
So much shit.
Yeah. The boat that they left on was supposed to come back.
Yeah.
At this time, but it was delayed because of that fire. And they
had the smoke, or it was dense, or...
Yeah. So their return was delayed, so people were waiting to make sure they were okay and returned. Mm-hmm. And once the boat returned, then they went to the bar.
Yeah.
So it was super, super delayed. But then the bar was really fucking busy.
Yep. I mean, it was exactly what they wanted it to be. It's like right out the gate, everyone was there. And...
because the town is just really supportive.
Yeah, they're really supportive. It's super... Oh, so cute. I mean, I would love to just say that I'm like a small town charm girl, but I know that I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not
like,
either.
I'm not.
It looks so great in movies and...
Yeah, but I would be like...
books and
I know
stuff.
myself. If I go out before coffee and I have 20 people saying hi to me, I would be like, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. You know, like, I just know this about myself.
Well, then they'll know it about you quick.
Yeah, they'll just be like, Caitlin... I mean, the girls at my work do. They're like...
Exactly.
You haven't had coffee yet. And they're like, hi, Caitlin. I'm like, hi. And they're like, okay, talk to you later.
Bye.
And like, they just know. But...
so it'll be like that.
Yeah.
Like, it'll take a few snaps.
Yeah.
But then they'll know not to talk to you unless you have a coffee in your hand.
I guess. But I do love, like, fictional small town charm.
types. Yeah,
Love
same.
it.
Or like Stars Hollow.
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
love
like,
it in theory.
Yeah.
But I don't want no motherfuckers all up in my business all the time like that.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which is all that is.
Literally. Everyone knows everything about everyone. Not okay.
Ideal.
No.
You know? But that's why it was delayed. Then the bar's super busy. Mm-hmm. Fox goes and helps Hannah run it. Mm-hmm. And Brendan shows up. And he was like, well, where's she at? And Hannah was like...
She's like, you dickwad. She thought you were mad at her. She left. She's in LA.
She's in LA. I don't think she was, like, mad. But she was like, she thought the town didn't show up for her. And so she got upset and left.
Didn't come.
Oh, shit. The stepdad was supposed to come to the bar opening, and he canceled, too.
Like an hour before the event.
Bruh.
Like, he canceled.
So it was just a lot of rejection. So she just kind of rebelled against it all and was like, fine, fuck it, I'm going back.
Yeah.
And so he realized, you know, oh, shit, she's in LA. So what does he do?
He goes to LA.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Just like an Unfortunately Yours.
Just like it.
I swear these books are the same.
I know, you said that in the Unfortunately Yours one.
Because it's the same, like, something super traumatic makes the girl realize, oh shit, I love him.
Yeah, we've got our dangerous, burly guy. We've got our high-end socialite girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Tessa, don't fall into patterns, please. Like, I would not like that.
And then the fly to go get them situation.
Yeah, they fly to go get them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then we flash forward to Piper at the party.
Back to the
yeah,
man's
I know.
town.
And I don't know how I feel about that all the time, but Piper is at the party. She's literally about to be lifted up into the air on this like unicorn. She's like
so stupid.
And she's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, she's like, wait, what the fuck?
She's like, what the fuck am I doing?
And she's like, I used to love this. Like, and then she gets on the stage and she's just like,
no,
not having it. But then she sees Brendan
frantically looking around. And then she sees, there he is. And they're calling to each other, Brendan, Piper, Brendan, Piper. And then they reunite.
I think she literally jumps off the stage.
I think she does.
And he takes her and they leave.
Yeah. And
he's like, you want to leave? And she said, yup. And so he just whoop, bounces.
Yep.
And then they go home.
They go and pack up her shit. She moves in with him full time. It's all happy-go-lucky.
And she runs the bar.
I literally think that's how it ends. And I think the end of the book is like them saying bye to Hannah.
Oh, because Hannah's
going back.
Fox says bye to her too, doesn't he?
Yeah. Fox says bye to her too. In a very, very sweet way. You want to know how? A Fleetwood Mac album on her doorstep. Mm-hmm. No anything like from, no note, nothing. No, you took the car, no note.
Oh my God. What's that from, people? But it was the album she saw at the convention.
That spoke to her or sung to her.
Yeah, she really wanted to get it but couldn't afford it or something. And so he doubled back that day, got it for her, and gave it to her.
As a going away present.
Yeah. And so, you know, then we'll talk about them for the next book.
And she's like, oh, it means nothing.
She was just lying to herself, you know?
Nothing.
But I do enjoy, like, going back reading this book. I realized how much Hannah and Fox are weaved into this book. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it the first time.
Yeah, same. I mean, yeah.
And so Tessa Bailey must, like, really plan out, like, the whole series, I feel like.
Yeah, in her Hot and Hammered one, I think she did, like, each main character and those, it's a 3-book. Mm-hmm. Like, I think she knew her characters before she wrote the whole series because it's very, very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was impressed. Like, even, like, the first time even Fox sees Hannah, like, he thinks something.
Yeah.
And there's just, like, a lot. It's very minimal in the first book, but it's very evident when you, like, go back and reread it and know all that we know.
Yeah.
That happens in the second one, but I really liked that. And, you know, this also is very Tessa Bailey, where there's a lot of other stuff going on in the book. So, obviously, we talked about the Henry, like, her dad being part of this town. So while they're in this town, there's like a statue of him as well.
Yeah.
And so they go to the statue and try to like,
feel something?
Yeah, feel something because, you know, they don't really know him at all. So it's really weird to them because
Yeah.
all these people feel so deeply for Henry.
You know what?
And
I
even
can't
him.
believe we haven't brought up the grandma.
That's what I was about to do, yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God. So the first time they meet that father-in-law guy, and other people too, were like, oh, have you gone to see Pearl yet? right? Isn't that her name? Opal.
You were so close.
Oh, God damn.
Opal.
Opal, that's right.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, but like we will.
They're like,
But they're like,
fuck is Opal?
they didn't know who the fuck that was.
Yeah.
And so finally she asked somebody like, where does Opal live? Mm-hmm. And so she goes to see Opal. Which is hilarious to me because she still has no fucking clue who she is.
She's like, hi.
Until she's face to face with her.
I'm Piper, Henry's daughter. And she's like,
What? And then they realize that's their grandma. And they had no idea about her.
that would suck.
Yeah. And so there's also like her relationship building with her grandma in this book. It's super, super cute.
Yeah.
Like gives her a makeover, takes her out on the town because she's kind of just like lived in her apartment ever since
Yeah.
her son died and like hasn't left, doesn't leave, doesn't do anything,
Her hairdresser comes to her.
and cuts her hair. And she never leaves.
Yeah.
How's she get groceries?
So that's like the only time she leaves, I think.
Oh, okay.
is
I was
when
like,
she goes and
how's
gets
she do
groceries.
it? So yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that aspect of this book too. Is like her getting, and I think for Piper, her like feeling her father was redoing the bar. Because at one point they take something down and there's like a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
And there's like a picture of him. Which I don't even think they realized it was him at first.
I think it was like the smile or the eyes or something
Yeah, there was
that
something.
was like
I was like, oh shit, wait.
distinctive factor of where they're like, oh, like this is where we get that from. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's our dad. And so I think for Piper, that's kind of how she felt her father the most. And Hannah still wasn't, because Hannah was the youngest, doesn't remember him at all.
Yeah.
And so we'll get to her connection with her father in the second one. But
Yeah.
so cute. But I just really like the father and like the grief. And there's grief for Brendan too, because his wife died. There's a
Yeah.
lot of death in this one.
And there's like a lot of guilt that he has for it not being like necessarily like a passionate marriage. It was just kind of like a marriage of like duty and responsibility, and it's just like what was right, kind of like.
Oh yeah, he just married her because that at the time, I think the father-in-law was the captain, and Brennan just worked on the boat, so it was his captain's daughter, grew up in the fisherman family life, and
Yeah.
so he was just like,
This is what I do.
she'll do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he liked her, but just like in a different way.
Yeah,
you
there was
know?
definitely, there had to be some sort of like connection, but it wasn't, he didn't feel for her in the same like passionate way that he felt for Piper. And
Yeah.
there was like that guilt in that too, like having to get past that. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of extra stuff in this one that wasn't just the main romance plot, which
A lot, yeah.
was great because it made the romance plot all the more like substantial because we knew both sides of like the emotion. And I just loved the dual POV. Was it first person or third person? Because
No
that was
clue,
something
yeah.
that was brought up with Secretly Yours and Unfortunately Yours. So that was a pet peeve of someone. But I can't
I have
remember.
no clue. I don't pay that much attention.
I
to
really
be
don't
honest.
pay attention either. Like, I just read.
Yeah.
So,
But you said Fox had an opinion, so that would be third person. If
What do
you
you
knew
mean?
his opinion once meeting that person, because that
In the
would be
first
his
book.
thought.
you're right.
If it was first person, it would just be, hey, Fox made a weird face.
You're right.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. That it was probably third person.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! But she writes some of her books in first person because the next book we're talking about was in first person, wasn't it?
No clue. Like,
Yeah.
I don't pay... I'm going to have to start paying attention.
Yeah, maybe that is something that I don't usually pay attention either. I just read it.
Yeah.
And I don't have like,
and it,
I mean, I haven't read it, so maybe that's the complaint is she switches between the two.
maybe.
And I could see where that would be frustrating because you're reading a bunch of like inner dialogue and stuff and then interjects random person's thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know though. So.
I think I did used to have like a preference on reading first person point of view, but I think Harry Potter is actually what got me out of that because that's a third person omnibus whatever point of view.
omnipotent.
Yeah, you know all of the
God.
thoughts of everybody, and it's not just like
the main...
yeah, if that makes sense. But I can't remember in this one or not.
I feel like it's third person.
I think it is.
I think it says, like, Piper walks in,
I
not
think you're right.
I. I don't think I is used
Yeah,
at all. I mean, unless it's, like,
their thought,
actual dialogue.
like their italicized thought.
Yeah. So I don't know. What'd you rate this book?
I want to say 5. Because I still thought about it very long after, and I still think about it today. And like we did just do a reread, like I get it, but like it is a book
Even
that
then, before that.
had stayed with me. It was my first Tessa Bailey books reading too, and
Me too.
It brought me to. Sorry, the dog just rang the bell and it was like so
Aggressive.
loud. She's like, "Excuse
Let me
me."
outside.
She's been very, like, pay attention to me, so
Poor girlie.
Not the time.
I'll let her out.
Okay.
She looks pissed.
No, but I mean, this was the first book that brought me to Tessa Bailey, and I've read
A lot.
8 of her books now.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. I mean, I love her. She's an insta-buy author for me, and this book is the first introduction to her that I had. So I think it's a 5-star book for me. But the thing is that the next book is a 5-star book, hands down, no questions asked, 5-star.
And you.
So, like, do I do a 4.5 for it, you know? I don't know. What did you rate it?
I originally, the first time I read it, gave it 4. But
Okay.
I definitely think it's a 5. Because,
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's
I love that. I love that it went up.
Yeah.
Because usually yours go down. When
Yeah.
you do rereads, you're like, oh, wait.
But now that I've read more Tessa Bailey, like, this is my very favorite one.
Yeah.
It's my favorite one. So.
Okay, the next one is my favorite one.
I know it is.
Hook, line, and sinker.
But this is my favorite one, so I gave it 5. I'm going to
love
give it
that.
5 now. You want to know what its overall rating is?
Yes?
It's 3.9.
What?
I know.
I mean, that's still, like, good. But what was Secretly Yours again?
But not
It was a 3 point something.
better be lower. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Better be lower. Hello.
3.3.
God damn it, Joe.
Okay, well, at least it's better than that one, but I thought it was, like, leaps and strides better than Secretly Yours. Are these people that read these books just not into smut?
I don't know. I'm about to read you some 1 stars. So.
1 stars? Okay. I'm ready.
It says the romance before the sex was cute enough. The sex was ridiculous and graphic and cringy. I've never read anything so profane.
Okay, so they just don't like smut?
Correct.
Okay.
Will never attempt to read another by this author.
Over.
Author. Which honestly, respect that.
Yeah, if you don't like smut, don't read an author who's known for smut.
Yeah.
Don't do
But
it.
you probably know that at first because, you know.
Cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Cartoon
the
covers.
are so cute.
So cute. I know, we need a little, like, rated M for mature, like, on movies. We need that on books. I'll always be an advocate for
Truly.
that.
Truly.
Like, just put it in the fucking corner like
Because,
a DVD.
like, when you said you worked at Barnes & Noble, like, parents would try to buy certain books for their kids, and you would be like, don't do that.
No, there was one in particular where I told a mama, I said,
Do not buy that book.
I'm sorry. You need to do your research on this book. If you're buying it for your daughter that I'm looking at right now, you need to do
It
some
was
research
shorter than
on
our
this
counter.
book because it is not
Appropriate.
And I was really trying not to say not appropriate because I don't want to tell a parent what
What's
they can
appropriate for their
say
kid.
is appropriate for their kid or not. But the book
Just
was...
like, do you know what's in this book?
I've read that book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at this, like, 12-year-old girl, and I'm like, she doesn't need to read this book. I'm sorry. She doesn't.
Yeah.
And that was the only time that I ever, like, put my opinion out there. And the mom did say thank you, but that 12-year-old girl wanted to kill me. Her eyes,
She's like, I'm gonna
daggers. Daggers. And I'm like, stay away from book talk. You don't need to
Oh,
be
yeah,
on
that's what
that.
she said. It was on TikTok, huh?
Yeah, she was like, it's on TikTok. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything.
That means do not read it.
Like, no.
How about when you're 18, sweetheart?
Yeah. Even,
You're-
like, I don't care about, like, 16.
A little bit older than 12.
Yeah, I mean, she was not done with puberty yet, but
Yeah.
that was evident. So I'm not just like, Mama, you need to do your research because
Yeah.
this isn't
You
it.
need to pre-read it.
It's very
and then
cute.
Decide.
It's a very pretty cover. It is deceiving
gorgeous.
you. It's deceiving you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what all these covers are.
Yeah.
I love it, though. I mean, it's better than what they used to be back in the day.
I know, but she had to get it off of a romance table or a romance section. Like,
Well, at Barnes, there's like a TikTok table
I know.
sometimes.
And
honestly, though, it says spicy talk.
yeah, now it does say spicy talk. There's like little peppers on it or whatever. But I don't think it'd be hard to add a little stamp on the corner.
Premature. Yeah, rated M for mature, like the video games.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think
Rated M for mature.
that's something that we should start implementing.
Or even like, maybe not even on the outside. I mean, they can, but like, even just like on the inside or something.
Yeah, like where they have like all the publishing information, just be like audience suggested audience 18 plus. Something.
Yeah, something. But she just said that was not her thing.
Yeah.
To play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
People would say that would incentivize people to read it because now it's a taboo subject.
Yeah, and that's a very valid point. But when parents are buying books, I do think that they have the right to say, like, I'm not buying this book for you. Use your own money.
I mean, I don't have an opinion on it, so that was just a devil's advocate thing.
No,
But
I hear it.
Bailey seems to have.
I know.
A great comment.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Well, it says, with a heavy heart, I rate this 1 star. She talks highly of Piper and like likes her character arc, whatever.
Okay.
In the Westport and learning about her father. Says, but I could not for the life of me fucking stand Brendan.
Yeah.
Gasp.
But did she like come with receipts?
He's nothing but a sexist wannabe alpha male, far too obsessed with his masculine image right out of a 2000s super problematic rom-com movie script. Which is, funnily enough, the exact same problem I had with the love interest of the first Tessa Bailey book I ever read. Doesn't say what it is.
Yeah, that's annoying. I don't agree with that. I don't think. I mean, Brendan's not my favorite.
Oh my god.
Did it continue? Mm-hmm. Is it the same girl?
Yes.
Okay.
It says the throwaway line about him sleeping under a pink comforter because she decorates his room. And that's whatever. Doesn't change the fact that Brendan doesn't believe in having female sailors on his boat. Because he doesn't have any female sailors.
I'm sure there's a line that caused her to have that opinion.
He says it. He won't let her on the boat.
Yeah, but Piper, not females.
I think he does say something, though.
I mean, yeah, sure.
But I don't know. Which I guess I get it. But also, I don't know. I don't want to say, like, it's an awful job, but, like, you know, I guess if someone wanted to do it, they can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a really sensitive topic to discuss on a public platform when I do not have a fully informed opinion.
All I'd say is I wouldn't want to be on that fucking boat.
I'm not stepping foot on one of those motherfuckers. Sorry. I'll throw Aaron out on that boat, hands down. Go get me some money.
You ain't gonna ever catch me on a boat.
You're never catching me on a boat. There's a Taylor Swift themed cruise.
I saw and I was like, fuck, I ain't going.
I ain't doing it.
Sounds fun, but I don't fuck with boats.
Yeah, I don't fuck with boats, man. No.
The ocean terrifies me in every single way.
Yeah, I've been in the ocean. It's great. I don't want to be like in it.
I'll be on the fucking cusp of it, you know?
Yeah, like
feet in.
I touch it.
But that's it. I'm not going below shoulders. Okay. I'm done. I hate the ocean. It's so terrifying.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know what the fuck's out there.
valid.
And it's cold.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
That's all I got for right now. Another one says he's an alpha male.
Okay. Because he's
Pretty
the captain
much,
of a ship
I guess, dude.
and he takes on a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all valid.
This one says, I hate his stupid honey and baby nicknames.
Oh,
You're just not loved, Sophie, Taylor's version. That's her name.
listen,
Taylor's version.
You can call
Hey,
me.
just shit on another Swiftie.
Damn.
But fucking Taylor says baby in every one of her goddamn songs.
Yeah. No.
You love them, apparently.
I love.
I'm getting angry.
And I know I'm like of the two males that we'll talk about in this episode, Brendan's like not mine. You know, like I'm Fox, Team Fox all the fucking way. But I don't think Brendan's sexist. I think he was just he just grew up in a specific way. But we have seen growth in just this short amount of time. So who's to say there's not going to be more? It's a fictional character as well. So
I know. They're all fictional people.
These are fictional.
Oh. What? Tessa Bailey books are really not for me. And then she put a quote.
She just don't like smut.
Correct. This was wild. Okay. That's all of those.
Okay. Well,
they're all about the same.
Yeah.
I have some questions for you, though.
I'm ready.
So we all know. Well, maybe not. But this is going to be a movie. You remember?
Okay.
Are you okay?
I forget things like this so fucking easily.
Yeah.
Is this really?
That's what I've seen on, like, the internet.
Okay.
So I thought it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
If we did, like, who we would pick
A
for the
fan cast? Okay. Yeah. Henry Cavill. Oh,
stop! You can't.
Any movie where I get to pick the male.
What about Fox? It ain't gonna be Henry Cavill because Fox is gone.
Who's Captain America?
No, we can't do him yet. I don't know.
Chris Evans.
Okay, not to shit on either of these people because I love them both. I think they're too old.
Fine. Okay.
How old's Brendan, do you think? Because
He's like 30.
Exactly.
Oh, Henry Cavill's like in his 40s.
Correct.
Henry Cavill, if you see this, I love you.
Same. I
literally put in all of my fictional reads. All of them.
All of them.
They're all you.
So I do think he would be absolutely perfect.
But like the epilogue version.
Okay.
Okay.
Could have him in the fucking 2 minutes at the end of the fucking movie.
It'd be worth it.
No. I think it'd be really fun. So I looked up people.
Okay.
I was literally like actors in their 30s, like dark hair.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to see someone we don't really know.
Okay.
Because I couldn't see anyone that's like super famous right now that I would like for the role.
I have one in my head.
Who?
Not an actor. Who is that football player?
Notre Dame.
Yeah, the Notre Dame football player.
The Notre Dame You're so right.
Why are you looking at me?
No, listen, because you're supposed to know football, Joe.
The Notre Dame quarterback. Hang on.
Yes.
It's actually him. That's a great one. I actually remember seeing that.
Yeah. Because he's gorgeous.
Isn't his name like Sam something?
And he's got a
Sam Hartman.
That one.
Yeah.
That one. He's my Brendan.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, look at him there.
He looks 30. What the hell?
Ah! Put a beanie on that motherfucker.
Brandon.
He's got some thick facial hair.
That's what the cover of, look up It Happened One Summer. Like, I look up the cover, and you'll see, like, the cartoon character, and tell me it's not, like, Sam Hartman. You're so right. I remember thinking that, and I didn't write it down. Shame on me. But I'm so glad.
I could see it, yeah.
See? Like, yeah. If Sam Hartman were an actor, we'd want Sam Hartman. But if you can't find Sam Hartman, get his twin. That's an actor. Thank you.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone who could do the role justice.
Except this guy. Even though I don't know how he acts. Probably bad.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so Piper.
That's hard.
I have a list.
All right.
So them I could find.
You're going to have to show me pictures because I'm awful at names.
Okay. So Sydney Sweeney. You know her?
Oh, she's from Euphoria, right?
Correct. She was one I was like, okay, maybe.
Interesting.
Like, she's blonde, young. Okay. Madeline Klein. So she is in Outer Banks.
Yeah, she was also in the
Glass Onion.
Yeah, okay.
And she played kind of a snooty. So I was like, maybe her.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter, they said, is an actor?
No. Maybe a Hannah, but I don't think she could be a Piper.
Hannah has brown hair, I thought.
No, Hannah's also blonde. I think she could be a Hannah.
And then the other only blonde one I saw was like Sophie Turner.
No.
You don't like Sophie Turner?
I love Sophie Turner. I just don't think that's a role for her.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm used to her on fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I guess she was queenish, but I don't know how she could play like a
You haven't gotten
bitch.
to the end of Game of Thrones, so you can't say anything.
You're fucking right. He got me there. Spoiler alert, I guess, for me.
Sophie Turner does a whole transformation in that
Hopefully she turns into a bitch because she's really... I would.
I'm not giving anything away.
I hope she turns into like Cersei 2.0 and just fucking fucks everybody up. But yeah, I guess now we need to start watching it again, huh? I feel I'm very out of the loop because I know both of you finished it. Anywho, I'm very far behind on that show. We've not watched it in ages.
We need to move on.
Okay. Those are the only people I thought of, so.
I think the girl from Euphoria, but I think Sabrina Carpenter for Hannah for sure.
Okay. But I really like Madeline Klein. I don't know.
Actually, yeah. I don't know how tall she is.
Heels, bro. Like,
You're right.
we can make her taller.
We can make her taller. You
But
know what?
yeah.
Her and that quarterback guy, they'd be sexy as hell together.
Exactly.
You're right.
So I liked her.
Good.
She saw a ghost.
Good girl.
Okay.
You saw a ghost? Did you protect us? Good girl.
But yeah, I don't know. That's Sydney Sweeney.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I go back to that other girl that you said.
Madeline Klein.
Yeah.
I think Sydney Sweeney just looks a little young. I don't know how old she is. But I guess Madeline. Oh, she's 26. You looking good, girl. Looking good. Madeline Klein is 25.
Oh, yeah. So they're right around the same.
Yeah,
And I think Sabrina Carpenter's around that same age, too.
probably.
So,
But number one, Sam Hartman.
yep.
That was a perfect casting for him, even though it probably will not happen.
It'll
But
never happen.
we need someone that looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Would you date a crab fisherman?
no.
No.
I mean, I just know myself. I'm too, like, needy.
Yeah,
Like,
for them to be gone
You're
for 3
very
weeks.
much pushing Aaron to be on this boat.
Oh, yeah.
For the
Like, the
money.
money is great. Do it for, like, a few seasons and, like, we'll be set. But
For life.
they go out, I mean, every week. They're not just crab. So,
Yeah, these
I guess that's
people.
my context.
The book.
Yeah, the book. That's really the only context I have.
You never watched Deadliest Catch?
No.
I wouldn't recommend if your husband's a crab fisherman.
Oh, great.
I'm just saying, like, if your husband was a crab fisherman, I
You wouldn't
wanna
wanna watch
the
it.
fucking show.
Yeah.
Looks terrible.
Would you?
No.
Okay.
No.
For the same reasons or what?
Yeah, it's awful. It just seems awful.
Yeah, just thinking like, I mean, I guess that's the same like for
It's
anyone.
literally
who
the
has-
deadliest job, period.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's like a statistic, right? It's like one of the deadliest
I
jobs.
think it's one of the most dangerous. I think, like, I'll look up a list.
Please do.
Thank you, Joe.
And then another question I put, like, I've already spoke of it so many times, but like, what books compare? I would definitely say. Would you?
Unfortunately,
Can you
yours.
think of any other non-Tessa Bailey books that you would?
No.
Me neither. I'm like, nah. Just unfortunately yours. I feel like they're like the same exact
Yeah,
plot line, which makes sense why they're my two favorites.
but just like yeah.
Yep. Separate duologies. And then how would you rank this with like the other Tessa Bailey books you've read?
It's a very very close second to Hook, Line, and Sinker.
Yeah.
But those two battle for dominance like quite often because I really really like both of
So
them.
these two are still like your top.
They're still my tops. Even after all the other ones that I've
Yeah.
read, they are my tops.
Obviously superior than Divine Miss, but I didn't know about like the Hot and Hammered.
I really, really liked The Hot and Hammered, and I found myself being more, like, seeing my own life more in Hot and Hammered than I did, like, because this is, like, never going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's no relation at all. But in the Hot and Hammered series, I did find, like, more, like, I was relating to it more. But storyline and, like, extra plot and, like, overall, these ones are still my tops.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Hook, line, and what?
For the list,
Yeah.
logging, fishing / hunting, roofers, aircraft pilot / flight engineers, structural iron workers, apparently delivery drivers.
Car wrecks, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, hot damn.
Recycling materials, underground mining, construction, linemen.
Well, yeah, I would think that would be higher. So
That was Forbes' top 10 of 2023 most
Okay.
dangerous jobs.
fishing was pretty up there.
Yeah.
2. I mean, was that like in chronological order that you're reading it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't break it down based on what type of fishing, but
Yeah.
Just like fishing.
yeah.
I'm assuming
If
it's
you've
pretty
seen Deadliest
supreme,
Catch, it looks pretty
terrifying.
terrifying.
Yeah. Nope. Okay, so the next one is Hook, Line, and Sinker, and we follow Hannah and Fox. And I love how this book starts because what's it called in the beginning? The prologue?
Did they do one? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like text threads between Hannah and Fox over like months or whatever. And it's like few and far between, but it's like just like random. One of them is texting the other. And eventually they start communicating like more on a daily level, and they communicate in songs because Hannah's dream job is to make soundtracks for movie productions and not just like pull from songs that already exist, but like a creation of songs to make for the production, which we see later on in the book. And then Fox is kind of like a man whore. I mean, like, that's just like what he is. Mm-hmm. You know, he gets his paycheck at the end of a trip. He'll go up to Seattle. He'll spend his check however he wants. He finds company however he wants. And then he just comes home and he chills. And he's just like the ultimate bachelor or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we know that Fox and Hannah have like encounters in the first book. You know, like they're hanging out or whatever. Non-sexual. And it's kind of put pretty early on in the second book that like Hannah's off limits to Fox. Like Brendan's like, you can't mess with this one. It's my future. Oh yeah, like they get engaged. In the second book, we know that Brendan and Piper are engaged. And he's like, it's my future sister-in-law. Like, don't touch her. And Fox is like, okay, cool. It's not like I've been thinking about her nonstop since last summer.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that. But in his brain holes, he's like,
Because to Brendan, though, he's a man whore and he's just going to sleep with her and make everything awkward.
That's how he is to like the whole town.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so Hannah comes back to the town because she's on she's like a production assistant or something, like something so low grade, to this new movie that her crush is directing. And she pitches this idea of like a small town romance instead of this like big LA romance. And she's like, oh, I know like the perfect town.
Place, yeah.
Like I know the perfect place. Let's see if we can make this work. Well, it does. Ends up working. So her and the entire production crew ends up in Westport. And she stays with Fox during the time. Why is that? Oh, because Brendan's parents are in town. So she can't stay with Piper. And they're trying to save money on the production costs. So they're not boarding up Hannah. Hannah's just going to stay with Fox. So they're in...
He has an extra room and he's not always there anyway because he's out on in the,
fishing trips. So close, tight-knit quarters. And yeah, a friendship blooms first, which I really like.
Doesn't he like try to help her get the director?
Yeah, he like gives her tips or whatever. Like, he's like, oh yeah,
trying to make him jealous.
Yeah. It was like, it started kind of like a fake dating type thing.
Yeah.
Like it looked like that was going to be the trope, but it never really actually happened. I'm like suffering memory loss. But do you have notes?
Not as much on this book.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't like it as much. So I don't know. My brain just didn't feel the need to like write everything down.
Yeah. Well, like Hannah is like a personality is like more, she's totally okay with being like a sidekick character. Like she even kind of describes herself as like the supporter of like everyone else's main plot. She's like, yeah, my sister, like she's the star of the show.
That's right. She always calls herself
I'm just
like,
her support.
not a main character.
Yeah, she's just like, so her like growth in this book is just like main character vibes. Like she just wants to be the main character of her story finally. And then Fox's like character development stems from this idea that he's been like highly sexualized from a very, very young age.
Very weird.
Because his dad was like what Fox has kind of turned out to be, was like a man whore. Like his dad just like couldn't stay in one place for very long, hopped around from lady to lady, you know, and so like everyone treated Fox as if he was going to be like his dad.
Yeah. Did he cheat?
Yeah.
The dad? Mm-hmm. Because I know I could think at one point they called him, you know, he was cute, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, you're going to like be such a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
You know, like we say that to kids. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
And Fox really
that
just...
happens a lot now, and it like really stuck with him. Mm-hmm. Kind of traumatized him. And so he's like, well, if that's what everyone thinks all I have the potential to be,
then that's what
because
I'm
my
gonna do.
father, like, that's just what I'm going to fucking do then.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's all I can be, so I'm just going to fuck my way through life.
Basically, yeah. And he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his, like, one of the main memories that he has is, like, his mom having, like, a jar in the kitchen counter, like, in the kitchen cupboard. It's, like, the condom money jar. Like, that's where you go when you need to get your shit or whatever.
He was young, wasn't he?
He's, like, 15 or something. Like, so it's, like, just not only... Yeah, it's just, like, a highly sexualization. And, like, the friendship that Hannah and Fox develop is actually really, really good. I feel like Fox is trying to help Hannah become the main character of her storyline, trying to get the guy that she wants, you know, and all this stuff. And Hannah is trying to help Fox, like, realize, like, hey, that's not your fault that these people highly sexualize you. That's not okay. And that's not the identity that you have to take on.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful set of growth. And I feel like Tessa does this really good in her books too, is that there's always like character development, but it's not because of the love interest. The love interest inspires the character to be better for themselves. Like, they're like, yeah, you're right. I do deserve better. I'm going to be better, but not for you, but for me, because I deserve that, which I really like. And I think they both experienced that in this book really well. And the spice was really good, in my opinion.
Said in my opinion.
But do you have anything to say about Fox or Hannah as peepals?
I feel like I did want to say something while you were talking, but now I can't remember it. So that's great.
Love it.
Oh, another thing with his mom is he said every time he like saw his mom, she like would flinch
Yeah, she flinches.
because he looks like his dad.
Yeah,
And
I think it was my ice.
I was like, what was that noise?
Yeah.
So that was like another thing around that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he had a very traumatic college experience. So
Oh, yeah.
he was, you know, the player in his small town. So he went away and went to college, had a girlfriend, and he was like, okay, I'm going to do it differently. Like, no one knows me here. No one knows my dad. No one knows my past. I can be somebody else. And so he gets a girlfriend that he really likes and wants to be faithful to. And I think he walks in on her cheating or something, right?
No, I remember this clearly because it broke my heart. Okay, so yeah, I can't remember her name and can't remember the guy's name. But it actually ends up being Fox's roommate. It's his girlfriend. And they had a conversation. The roommate and the girlfriend had a conversation on who their free pass was. Oh. And the girl had chose Fox as her free pass. And so the roommate actually never had Fox and girlfriend in the same room at the same time. So that's how Fox didn't know the roommate's girlfriend was his girlfriend, who he thought was his girlfriend, who he was like really, really had hard feelings for. And she's like, you can't call it cheating because he was my hall pass. And roommate gets pissed off, kicks Fox out. Fox moves back home because he's like, even in this relationship, I was only seen for sex. Mm-hmm. Ugh, awful, bitch. Fucking hate her. So yeah, he just comes back.
And then he just fucking embraces that shit.
Just embraces it.
Then goes to Seattle with all his money and fucks bitches.
Yeah, just whoever, whenever, all of it.
But, I remember, when he meets Hannah, he never goes back to Seattle.
Stops going to Seattle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like months. And the thing is that his crew also, like, they don't, like, dig on him for it, but they do. They're like, how'd you spend that paycheck?
Yeah.
Or like,
tell me about your girls. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all married. We have to live through you.
Yeah, like...
Kind of ripping him.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And he just kind of, like, lets it happen. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. You know, it's whatever. And then we get a little bit of, like, a look backwards into their first encounters in this book. So Hannah's, like, recalling how when they were out, like, he was getting texts all the time and people were blowing up his phone. And she instantly kind of was just like, no.
Ladies' man.
Like, he's a ladies' man. This isn't the kind of guy that I want. Blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, he's super attractive. Can't deny that. But I'm not going to be interested because literally his phone was, like, blowing up.
Yeah.
And then we see a little bit on Fox, like, in the text messages, there's conversations on, like, well, what is the perfect guy for you? Blah, 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 blah. Like, the cute, like, cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, who do you like? I promise I won't tell. Like, type shit. And she's like, oh, well, he has to have, like, a big collection of records. Like, he has to have a good record player and a bunch of vinyls. So he
Goes and buys one.
starts collecting them, and he puts them, like, in a cupboard, I guess, and, like, locks it. So even when Hannah's there,
She doesn't know.
she doesn't know. Because it'd be obvious, right? He's like, this would be obvious if she sees this shit.
I'm sure he locked it up once he realized she was going to be staying there.
Yeah. That's,
But
yeah. Oh, I love him.
yeah, that was really cute. Like when she found it.
Yeah, later on. It's like almost towards the end of the book.
Yeah,
when
it
she's
was pretty
finally
late.
like, you've had this whole time.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's nothing
Yeah.
much. You know, whatever.
Whatever. I think one of my favorite. I think I messaged you with the like. Was it some scent? What was it? Do you remember?
it's like orange.
Was it oranges?
Orange ginger or something like that?
I don't even remember what was happening. But I literally don't remember.
You don't remember what the scent was?
No. I also don't remember the scene. I know. Don't look at me like that.
Really? Okay. Well,
Refresh me.
so because he hasn't been going to Seattle or whatever, he's got a lot of pent up energy or whatever. So he does what he needs to do to get rid of his energy, but he's decided to kind of like make it a little fun. So he buys like a massage oil that's like ginger smell or something,
Yeah.
like orangey ginger or something.
Yeah. I wanted to say it was ginger, but
Something
that sounded weird.
citrusy. Yeah, I think it's something citrusy, like gingery something. And so he's like, you know, made it more of an experience for himself because he's not having sex with people, okay? So there's like a scene in the book pretty early on, and Hannah's staying there, where she's like, I'm like, what is that smell? Like, that smells really good. And then it's just like done and over with, okay? Well,
He teases her about it.
yeah, afterwards.
Oh.
So the first time we're introduced to the weird smell. I mean, it's not weird. It's a pleasant smell. Like she mentioned, she's like, oh, that smells like really good. What is that? Anyways, man, I can't remember why, but Fox really is trying to get with her. And he's like really trying to make it to where like they just like one and done this shit. And then he's like, I can just get her out of my system if I just like
yeah, I think
one
that's
and
why.
done this.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like that's not what this is. Kind of like how Brennan was with Piper. You know, it's like Fox is the one like trying to get it. And she's like, no, like that's not, you know, it's whatever. But that's not what I want. That's just like, I want a friendship with you. And he's like, okay, whatever. And he does start like teasing her and making her think of like sexual things in some way. I can't remember what led to this specific encounter that I'm speaking about, but she like goes to set. Okay, it's like on the docks, and Fox is working on the boat. He's like shirtless, and everyone on the production crew can see him working on the boat, and he's just like in all his glory. And Hannah's like, oh gosh, this sucks. You know, like, oh, I'm so frustrated. This really sucks. I need to get this energy out. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to take lunch at home.
So she literally like runs.
She's like,
And he notices her running.
and he's like,
I'm gonna go
he's
check
like,
that out.
what the hell is that?
Yeah.
So she
breaks out the massage oil.
She gets the massage oil. She closes her bedroom door, and she hears the front door open. And she's like, you're kidding.
But he can smell it.
And he's like, Hannah, I can smell the massage oil. And she's like,
No, I can't.
No, you can't.
What are you talking about?
what are you talking about? Anyways, he comes in the room, or whatever, her bedroom, and he's like, let me take over. She's like, no, like, this isn't all that you are. You're not a sexual object. You know, this is not the only thing you're good for. This isn't what I want you for. I want you for a friend. So she just decides to continue on with her plans as to why she came home in front of him. And it was an interesting scene. What were your opinions on it? I want to know that first.
I'm surprised I didn't hate it since, like, we were talking about Secretly Yours, that
I hated
scene.
it. And I don't know, maybe
I didn't hate this one.
I wanna say maybe it's a sexist thing. Like, I wasn't offended by reading about a woman masturbating in front of a male, but I was offended by reading. I'm not offended, like, oh my God, you're offending me. But like, what? You know, because it was a male. I don't know if that's what it was. Mm-hmm. If it's just like a weird, like in my brain, it's like different type thing. Or if I was just more drawn to this relationship. Mm-hmm. Like if the relationship made more sense. And so the sexual activity made more sense. I hope it's the latter. But anyways. Yep. And he's like, he leaves. He's like almost mad afterwards.
Yeah, because she won't.
Because she won't let him do shit.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I didn't get any.
Yeah. And he just leaves. And I wanted to say something else about that, and I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think it was a hot moment, though. Like.
Much better than the one in Secretly Yours.
Much better.
And like you said, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I guess also in my head, like, if you guys just masturbate in front of each other, just have sex. I don't know. Like, why not?
I don't know, but he didn't touch himself.
And I think a lot of it, too, with the Secretly Yours thing, it was her being a virgin thing that rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Not rubbed me the wrong way, but I'm just like, it's pretty extreme in my opinion.
Yeah.
For never being with a man, you don't do that.
Extreme.
Okay.
That don't make sense to me.
It's weird that that's the extreme.
I wouldn't say it's extreme, but it's just weird. Like, that's it's
a
vulnerable
personal
moment,
yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, but sex is
I guess too.
So
it's different.
What's the difference?
It just feels different to me.
Listen, it is.
Look, I don't have an opinion. I didn't read either one, so I just think it's funny.
I know, it's literally so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
There's no logical explanation why one scene was okay to me and one wasn't.
Okay, it's because, like, reading that scene in Secretly Yours, I was like, but, like, reading it in Hook, Line, and Sinker, I was like, there's such a big difference. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Well, actually, I listened to it the first time. So I'm, like, driving my car, and I'm like, I swear the people in the cars next to me can
know
hear
what
me.
you're listening
like, and they
to.
just fucking know, and I'm like, I don't even remember what happens after that. It's all a blur. Because I'm just like...
Yeah, I truly don't know. She had to have just gone back to work, right?
Yeah.
Because it was her lunch.
I'm pretty sure she just went back to work.
Yeah.
But, like... So they just, like, came home?
I guess.
Like...
She probably ran into her room and shut the door.
And
maybe he left. For, like, a trip, maybe?
Yeah. I'm not remembering all the details of this book. Mm-hmm. Because I just remember the butterflies that I had the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm like... So is this before or after Bingo? Do you remember?
Has to be before.
Has to be before Bingo. He's like, oh yeah, okay, so I think it is very shortly after. She like comes home after a day on set and he's like all dressed fancy or whatever and she's like, he's going on a date. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, you know, he's going on a date.
She's sad.
And he was like, I'm going to see my mom. Mm-hmm. She is a traveling bingo like caller. Mm-hmm. And he is like, come with me. And she's like, excuse me? It's like, come with me. And they go, there's a cute, like, car scene. They're having good conversation. I really do just genuinely love their friendship. Like, it started off as a really good friendship, in my opinion. And she gets to meet his mom, and he warns her about the flinch.
Yeah.
He's like, every time my mom looks at me, she flinches. It's nothing. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Move on with it. And she gets enraged by this flinch. She's like, how could you look at your own son and flinch? Like, what kind of woman are you? And she's like, Fox, I want to hate her, but she's amazing. And she's like, the mom is like, this one's a good one, isn't she? And Fox is like, yeah, I think she is. And there's just a really cute moment. And then the bingo is fun.
Mm-hmm. It gets wild, doesn't it?
It gets wild.
Apparently bingo with senior citizens is wild and very competitive.
They call each other out for cheating, even though I don't know how... God's green earth, you could cheat in bingo.
Yeah, how do you cheat in bingo?
We always look at you for answers.
You mark a card that you didn't get the numbers for and yell bingo.
But don't they keep track of the numbers they call out?
I mean, it's not it's a stupid way to cheat, but there is a way to cheat.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, but they double check your shit. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know how you cheat at bingo.
We've played bingo, not at like a senior citizen thing, but bingo's pretty fun if you get riled up.
Oh yeah, I played at a casino.
Yeah.
At a casino bingo And it was like, have you guys ever been to the Joint?
No.
Okay.
Have we?
The venue?
We haven't been to the venue, but we've been to that casino.
Okay, so the venue, it's like, I mean, it's a full-on concert venue.
Yeah.
And it's full of people playing bingo. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually serious. And you have like a little desk that they give you. You have to like put it in your lap because it's a venue for like a show. Like they don't have like tables. So you have this like little thing you put in your lap and you got all your bingo cards and you got your friggin' marker. And I mean, they're going. And people, you call bingo and you're wrong. And people are like, there's no way you have that. Like they're like, there's not been enough. Like all this, bro, it's insane. But
What was the prize?
it was like, it went up. So the first one was like 1,000, and then it was like a 5,000.
A lot of money.
Yeah, I mean it's money, like money on
We've
this.
only played for,
Silly prizes.
So-
Our coffee
silly.
maker we won playing bingo.
Yeah.
And that was the most riveting, very riveting.
We were also wasted.
Were we both?
I think so.
No, I don't remember. We played bingo quite a bit in Stillwater.
Yeah, I
And that was the only time we won.
Yeah.
Was that coffee maker, but it was so fun.
Yeah, the one that was invitational only. So like you had to have spent so much money. I didn't get an invitation. My person I went with got the invitation, and she was allowed to bring a +1.
Nice.
So I was just the +1. So
Still.
But yeah, it's because you spend a lot of money there already. So they invite you to these fun little events. But yeah, no, bingo gets insane. So it is great. And then they end up outside somehow.
I think it gets crazy, and he just is like, we're going to go.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta get out of here. And they end up outside, and they end up against a wall,
Okay.
making out, right?
Yeah, I don't think they have sex at this
No,
point.
I think they just make out. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they just keep saying like that they can't. They're like, this isn't what I want. This isn't what you want. Just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, just be together. But like, he doesn't think he's worth her, and she doesn't think.
Well, she also is leaving. Once the film is done, she's going back to LA
She's
because
like, I
she
finally
wants
have
to
a
work in
shot.
film,
Yeah.
and she can't do that from Westport.
No. So, one big thing that her and Fox do together in this is she is in the process of trying to rekindle her relationship with her father. She didn't have any feelings, and as we saw from the first book, Piper started to develop feelings through the bar. She was like opening up this bar as like how she felt closer to her dad. Well, Hannah still is struggling with this. So she goes to visit Opal, and she's talking to Opal just like about her career in general, like, oh, I work in music and production. And she's like, oh, speaking of music, you must have got that from your dad. I have a bunch of his old sea shanties or whatever. So Hannah's looking these over, and I can't quite remember exactly how she comes about the idea, but she's like, I want to put these to music, and I want them to be used in the film.
Well, because, like, she has been, wants to do the music. So she gets kind of, the director that she has a crush on starts to catch feelings.
Yeah, because he's jealous.
Because he's jealous of Fox.
Yeah.
But that gives her, so now the director's talking to her. Never really talked to her before.
Yeah.
But it's given her in to be like, I want to work on the music side. So he's like, oh yeah, just follow her around or whatever. Like you can observe her one day. And so she asks her like what music she was thinking for a certain scene, and she hated it.
Oh, yeah. She's like, that doesn't work with that at all.
Correct. And she
Yeah.
was really upset about it. And so that's why she wants to do the sea shanty. Like when she read it and like pictured it in her mind, she's like, no, that needs to be in the movie.
Yeah.
But I think that's why, because she was kind of seeing the direction the movie was going, and she was like,
I don't
that's
like
wrong.
this. Yeah. Because originally the movie was for LA,
Correct.
and the music still matched that LA pace. And
But
she's
it's
like, that's
now
not the
in
romance
Westport.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she finds a connection to a band. She gets in contact with the band.
Through that record shop.
Yeah, through the record shop in the town, the Disc and Dat, which I think is the cutest fucking name for a record shop. And so she goes to Seattle to meet up with this band, and Fox goes along with her. I think she invites Fox because she's like, no, I wouldn't have had the courage to do this had it not been for like your support. Like, let's go. And so she's seeing her dad's music come to life through this band, and she's like, oh, this is it. Like, this is what this is how I can feel like a relationship with my deceased father. And they also grow, a little cuddly, like Fox and Hannah during this time. Because all the guys are, like, looking at Hannah, and Fox is like, mine. And they get, like, little cuddlies or whatever. And I think that's when he takes her to that.
Yeah, he takes her done. Period. End of sentence.
No, bitch.
It's true. It's right after that.
I don't remember what.
He's like, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, it's like some statue that sings or something.
It's very similar, I feel like, to the
Center of the Universe?
Center of the Universe we have here in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Where you stand in a spot and you talk and you hear it back.
Yeah.
I think it was very similar to that.
Yeah, like the wind goes through this sculpture and it like sings
like,
or something.
Yeah, it sounds like music.
Yeah, and
The
she's...
sound garden?
yeah, sounds
right.
I don't know. Something. I think it actually exists.
Oh.
So somebody fact check. I don't.
In Seattle?
Yeah. It's like a sound garden.
It's called Sound Garden.
I know that. Chris Cornell, R.I.P.
But she's like super enthralled by this surprise.
Totally
and it's
touched.
like, oh my God. And then they have sex right there.
Okay, there's a little bit more like emotion to it. Fits of passion. You keep throwing them away.
I'm sorry.
Fits of passion.
But it's not, I'm not wrong. They do it on like a fucking public street.
I think they do it in the car.
Yeah, the car door's open.
Okay, but the thing that they're
Still illegal.
in, yes, totally. The thing that they're in is closed. Like he paid the security guard like $20 to let them in.
Oh.
So like they were the only people around and the only people that were gonna be around.
In the parking lot.
So it's a little bit better.
In my brain, they're like, downtown Tulsa, you're parked on the side of the street. That is literally how I'm picturing,
think
like
it's
a
a little
parallel
more
parking.
secluded than that.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I
There's
think it's
gotta be people walking.
A little more secluded than that.
It's a thing.
What's it called?
The sound
Okay.
the Sound Garden.
The
Yeah.
Sound Garden. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where he takes her.
It's designed by a sculptor.
What does it do?
This is off Wikipedia, so I'm not 100% sure, but it says there's a high steel tower structure. At the top of each of these hangs a organ pipe, which weather goes through, or wind goes through, produces a soft sound. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly how to speak to her is through
Music.
Yeah. And then after this, oh, yes. So the relationship kind of finally kindles, but it's like really, really on the down low still. Like Hannah's not telling Piper.
That was one qualm I had with this book.
What?
We don't see Piper a damn time.
Well, she's entertaining Brendan's parents. So she's entertaining her
in-laws.
new
Future.
in-laws. Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
we don't see, like, her and her sister are so close. She's come to this town because she misses her sister.
Yeah.
And the town and probably Fox, let's be real. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, you don't see your sister one goddamn time in this whole book.
I mean, she does.
Maybe
But
twice.
You're right. It's not like a prominent thing in this book.
At all. And like, I would have thought she would have talked to Piper
Yeah, especially
about all
this.
this.
Well,
She doesn't.
she doesn't. But it's at the same time, Brendan is trying to get a new ship. He's trying to start up a new crew on a new ship, and he wants Fox to take over his current crew and his current ship.
Yeah, wants Fox to be the captain.
He wants
Fox
Fox
is
to be
not
the
about
captain.
that.
He's like, that's responsibility.
And that's not my vibe.
No. That's, yeah, I take my check, I go spend it, I'm living life however I want. I don't
Yeah.
want responsibility. But I think it's shortly after this trip with Hannah that Brendan is like, actually, I can't go on this 5-day fish trip. You're in charge.
He has an emergency with his parents.
Yeah.
That was loud.
I'm so sorry.
We'll just
Clip that part out.
emergency with his parents. And he can't go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's like, Fox, you got to take over.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And
Turns out it's a trick.
turns out that's a trick. It's just to get Fox on the boat.
Because Fox was like, no.
For, I guess, months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we see even a little bit in the first book.
Yeah.
He's like talking about how he wants Fox to take over, but he won't do it. Because he's not confident in himself, too.
yeah.
Like, I think that's a lot of it, too.
Yeah.
And, the crew sees him, doesn't take him in a serious light. They joke around with him. Because, I mean, like, they're crew together. So, you know, they joke around. They think he's, you know, the ladies' man and not a serious guy to be taken serious, really.
Yeah.
So he's like, no. Mm-hmm. But then he does it.
Yeah. I mean, he goes on this 5-day, and we see, I mean, because Tessa writes it, we see his, like, inner dialogue where he's talking about, like, oh, like, if Hannah's the girl that I want, like, I have to start being better because Hannah deserves better. So I have to start being better. So he's like, okay, fine. You know, like, you wrote me into this, whatever. So he does go. And it kind of does a little time jump. I'm sure stuff happens with Hannah at home. I can't remember right now what that is in this moment.
Me neither.
But we see him come back from a successful trip, and he, for some reason, brings up Hannah.
Yeah, I think he says, like, I'm going to go
home
to Hannah or something.
Home to Hannah. And the guys are like, you're going to do what? Does Brendan know? So we have a time jump, like the 5 days, and we see Fox come back. He's talking about Hannah. And the guys are like, that's a girl that you wife up. Like, that's not a girl that you, like, one and done. And he's like, don't you think I fucking know that? Like, yeah, I know. She's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it solidifies for him that he's not worth Hannah. Like, he's not deserving of her. He's going to go break up with her or whatever.
Yeah, at this point, she said she already has her bags packed or something.
Yeah, so it's the last day of set at the same time. Him coming back home is also the last day of set. There's a last day party. Hannah is looking fucking gorge, you know? And he walks into this bar, and Hannah looks at him. She's like, okay, so are you going to break up with me now or later? Like, calls him out. She's like, that's what this face is. That's what this act is. Like, I know you. Like, I'm not going to let you just do this or whatever. She's like, okay, let's go home. You know, if you're going to break up with me, like, let's go home. Like, let's just get it done. I'll grab my stuff. I'll get out. And I can't quite remember everything. I remember tearing up a bit because she's like, this isn't what you actually want. This is stupid. You know, this isn't what I want. I get to decide what I deserve, you know, and I'm choosing you. So why is that not good enough? Like, why is that not good enough? Well, for some reason, he leaves the house, which I don't know why these boys think that it's okay to leave and, like, give, like, last-minute ultimatums when they literally, like, there's a morning deadline. I'm like, cut this shit out.
Yeah, they both do.
Like, it happens in both books.
Yeah.
So he leaves. He goes to his mom's.
Oh, yeah, and he, like, stays the night.
So he's like, Mom, I fucked up. You know, and she's like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, I did this to you. Like, we over-sexualized
and they got
you. They got really deep down and personal.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Mom, you flinch.
Yeah.
And he's, like, talking about how he thinks it's because he looks like his dad. And she's like, no, I flinched because I failed you. Like, I set you up for this. This is not the life you were meant to have. I've basically forced this down your throat, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know. I mean, it's like a healing moment for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he says, it describes it as him finally feeling, like, calm. And he fucking falls asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking falls asleep. Wakes up. And he's like, I'm late. She's on a bus.
Yeah.
Headed back to LA. Of fucking course.
Dicks.
And
he drives back.
His
phone's dead.
And I'm pretty sure he finds Brendan and Piper. And Piper's like, yeah, Hannah told us everything. And Brendan's like, dude, I'm fucking sorry.
Yeah.
And
I
Fox
know him
is
and
like,
Brendan have a heart-to-heart.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go. And then, what happens?
I don't know.
I mean, he obviously
I literally put on here, reunited, question mark.
What? That's what you did?
That's what I wrote.
Question mark?
Yeah, because I don't remember, like, how they come back together.
I don't remember it either.
Because obviously they do.
Yeah, so
does he go
there?
there?
Not a grand gesture? I know he's driving, right? Whoa. I feel like I need to do some homework real quick. Hey, Joe, this is going to be another intermission. Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
this
a lot
one's
of work
going to have
on
a
this
lot
one.
of cuts.
This is a Google.
Wait, no. Okay.
Try it.
So when he comes back from his mom's, he instantly goes to find Brendan and Piper because he's assuming that Hannah stayed with Piper. Because why would he stay why would she stay at his house? So he pulls up outside of his apartment, ready to go, pack a bag, blah, 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 blah. He says he's going to get a plan there. And then Fox walked into his apartment and stopped dead in his tracks. Hannah sat cross-legged on the floor in front of his record player, giant headphones over her ears, humming along to the music. So the first thing he says to her, so he puts on a song because they communicate through music. So, like, in the beginning, they were, like, sending each other clips of music to, like, communicate through the text threads. And he puts on a song, Let's Stay Together by Al Green, for her to hear. And then she stands up. She has headphones on. Like, he can't hear. She has headphones on. She stands up, hugs him, and then they, like, dance to the song or whatever. She takes off the headphones, and the first thing he says to her is, I love you. Oh, my God. Anyways.
I forgot she found it.
Yeah.
And they live happily ever after?
Yeah, they just basically decide, she's like, this thing that I want to do with my music career, like, I can do it in Seattle.
Oh, yeah, because she quit her job, right?
Yeah.
The
she's like,
assistant thing.
I can do it in Seattle. We can find a place halfway between Westport and Seattle. You can still do your thing. I can still do my thing. And we can have a place in the middle where we can just live together happily ever after. And they just make it work. So it's not really like a grand gesture or if it's things. It's just like Hannah didn't give up on him.
Yeah, she just stayed.
She just stayed. Mm-hmm. And for him, was
a grand gesture.
It was a grand gesture. Beautiful.
And then she starts her own, like you said, like the music thing. And
yeah, that
becomes, she finds really tiny, non-big artists and helps them get into movies.
Yeah.
And get big. And then I'm assuming she makes a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
'Cause in the epilogue, he don't work, right?
He don't work. He's retired.
Retired fisherman.
So of epilogues, this is the best epilogue of all time. And I know
for you
like the Unfortunately Yours one better.
Yes.
This epilogue for me was just freaking, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I can't remember how many years it is in like the time jump. Why? Hello? It doesn't fucking matter, I guess.
Yeah, it's years. Very similar to Unfortunately Yours,
like
where
10
it's like
years.
very far away, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 years in the future. And it starts with Hannah driving up to her house. Okay, she's got a trunk load of presents. It's Christmas Eve.
10 years.
Thank you. And she like looks through the door, like the window, and Fox is playing with their two little girls. He's just playing with them. Like, just being a great old dad. And she's like, oh, I miss this, like, so much. She's been away on a trip for, like, her record thing that's going really, really well. She's being really successful. We know that Piper and Brendan are on the way.
With
their own little babies.
Their son.
They have one son.
Named Henry. After their dad.
Wait, how did I not see that?
I don't know, bro.
I can't believe I didn't see that.
That fucked me up.
Little Henry.
They named him Henry.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that. Yeah. I did miss that. Yeah.
Because you were very focused on Brendan and Piper.
No, yeah. I was like, okay, cool, they have a kid. Like, I want Hannah and Fox.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just, it was the best epilogue ever. It made me feel all the feels. I cried. There was like a funny moment where there's like a moose outside or whatever, so she hides.
And screams, and he runs out.
Banging
and he's
pots
got like
and
a
pans.
beard now, right? Or something crazy?
He's like got gray hair and everything, and they fall in the snow and they're just laughing like little kids, like still just so fucking in love, bro. And they got cute little girlies just follow them outside in their little rain boots, and they got Labradors. Oh my god.
Labradors?
It's just beautiful. And then Piper and Brendan drive up.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking happy. The best epilogue ever.
Oh my god.
Oh god, it was so good.
I can't believe you didn't realize they named the kid Henry.
I can't believe that either.
I wanted more from Brendan and Piper.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's very similar to the other A Vine Mess epilogue, where it's more focused on the second book, and then the people in the first are just kind of vaguely mentioned.
Yeah. Because we already kind of get more of their story
in this book.
They're
engaged, whatever. I wanted to know about their children.
Yeah.
Children.
But I feel like this book I left satisfied Hannah ended up having her main character moment. You know, she got her dad's songs in the production, you know.
Oh, yeah, that did end up happening.
That
the
did end up
songs got
happening.
in the movie. And I think they fired the other one.
The other
or she
girl
quit.
like, in a
because they did
rampage.
Hannah's. They're like, if you do what she says, I'm quitting. And they were like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And so she quit. And then Hannah's, I guess, chose all the music for that fucking movie.
Yeah.
But
So Hannah has her main character moment. Fox got over his shit, you know, finally realizes that, yeah, he is good. So good.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my God.
cute. Guess what its rating is on Goodreads? Lower than It Happened One Summer.
Oh.
3.95. Barely.
Really?
Barely lower. It's, 0.4. Not very many 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. That's interesting because usually, like, if you didn't like the first book, like, you wouldn't read the second book.
Well, some people may not know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That it's the second in a duology.
Yeah. I
I
don't
mean,
feel
you
like
could
it's
read it-
labeled very well.
You could read it as a standalone. It would just not be... I mean, like, Tessa does a really good job of, like, doing little mini synopses, like, before, reintroducing a plot. So I guess you could read it as a standalone, but...
Yeah, I don't really think it was necessary.
And you're not seeing any bad reviews?
I just saw the longest bad review of my life. That whole thing was 1.
Oh.
Absolutely get a life.
Yeah, sorry.
Give it 1 star and move the fuck on, dude. Like, wow.
Really?
And there's like, images in it. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like meme.
Oh, I saw one of those. Wait. That's stupid. Yeah,
There's
we don't
a
need all
lot
that.
of them.
We don't need all that.
Like, goddamn.
So obviously of the two, you were Team Brendan.
This one's fucking hilarious, and I love this person. The 1 star is for the scraps we got of Brendan and Piper. That's funny. I'm not on the same page, but that's really funny.
I think the Fox Hannah plot was good, even without the Piper Brendan, like, being present.
This one says, I'm so disappointed that this book came out during Women's History Month.
Oh my god.
Because we got to plan that out.
Okay.
I'm not reading the rest of it. Because
Yeah.
it's really long. Fox and Hannah are both insecure, boring losers. So I guess they're perfect for each other.
They're not boring.
I've never gotten the ick from a book until now. This girl said 1 star in a meme, and it's Mr. Bean falling asleep and trying to keep his eyes open. Oh shit, some of these are hilarious.
I don't think it's boring. I don't think they're boring.
This one says, forced to read essentially at gunpoint. Next time, I will simply choose the gun.
Oh my god.
That is so dramatic.
That's so dramatic.
Martha. That's so funny. It's funny. It's so dumb and dramatic, yes. But some reviews like that are hilarious to me. Just like the one with Secretly Yours where it's like, I got more attention from my...
Math book.
Yes, that shit's hilarious.
Okay.
You know? I don't agree
guess.
with it, but that shit's hilarious. Well, actually, I agreed with that one.
Yeah.
But it's funny sometimes.
These I don't agree with.
Yeah, you're like...
I don't think they're boring.
Boring losers.
I don't think they're losers.
I'm assuming
I love
you gave
them.
it 5 stars.
I did, yeah.
I don't remember what I gave it. I would assume 4.
Yeah.
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 I did. Yep, 4 stars.
How does this rate in Tessa Bailey's universe for you?
3rd.
It Happened One Summer. And Unfortunately Yours. Hook, Line, and Sinker? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. As of right now, this is a Tessa Bailey fan podcast.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I mean, I'm not
Mad about it.
mad about it. I'm enjoying myself. That's all that matters.
Oh, you already said who you would want to play Fox, so.
No, I didn't. Oh,
Chris
I mean,
Evans.
Yeah, but you said that didn't count.
Well, how old is he? You have one job over there, Joe. We both look at him.
I can't Google that fast.
No, you need to read my mind.
Yeah, please anticipate our every need.
Daisy, would you like to comment?
He's
you like?
42.
Oof.
Way too old.
Way too old. No offense.
Doesn't look old.
He doesn't, but
Okay, let me think.
you probably won't think of anybody.
Nope.
But
I don't watch. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. So somebody looks like Chris Evans, but like maybe a little younger. You
Yeah.
know? There you go.
I
You
need
can say
them
Chris.
to have hair.
That'd be ideal.
Like a lot of it. I mean, like
Hair. Just hair.
a lot of hair. I don't like his caricature.
No, I don't like either of them.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I pictured Hannah Burnett.
I don't know why either, because
I know they say mousy,
mousy blonde.
which my brain goes to brown.
Yeah.
You mousy? I didn't see no blonde mice. They exist, Joe?
I don't know. I guess I can look that up for you.
Well, you deal with mice. Didn't know if you've seen any blondes. No. So I don't know why I picture Burnett for her. But I do, you know, just is what it is. Mm-hmm. Is what it is.
Well, when you type in blonde mice, it thinks it's blind mice.
There's
And that's the only image.
So they don't exist. I'm just kidding. I think that's all we have for these two because this is already outrageously long.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's just because we love these ones so much. There
Yeah,
is a
they're
lot
our
to say.
favorites. Sorry.
Yeah, and like we said before, the romance is like obviously great, and we like it. The spice is like great in both of these. I feel
Plots
like,
are good.
but the plot really takes the cake with these books.
yeah, like there's still a lot more going on
There's a lot going
than
on in
just
these.
the sex.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please join us next time for
Same time next year.
Bye.
Tessa Bailey.
Love her.
So sorry. We'll try to back the fuck up. But this one is very new. And so
Yeah.
it is based around
New
New Year's. So we'll be posting it right before New Year's. So we thought it'd be a good one.
Yeah, it's our end of year episode. We'll talk about our wrap ups, our anticipated reads for next year. It'll be a good way to end the year for
And
us.
it's a novella, so we won't talk as long. So
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching or listening. We'll see you next time. Bye. Let's see, what's the first one?
When I woke up to that over 1K notification, I was like, what the fuck?
I know.
Where are all the follows though? Like we
I
just
think we got one.
Yeah, there's like 3 from the reel or something like
yeah.
that. Which
I
like
saw one.
grateful for those 3. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted. Another podcast followed us.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
and I was like, oh my gosh.
But they have nothing posted.
I know. So they're fresh out the gate too.
Yeah.
Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Sorry. No, you're fine.
Do you have any notes or you just go,
I'm freeballing it.
why?
Let's do an intro.
Gives me anxiety. Okay.